Hello, this is Andrew Palladino here. I wanted to go over a couple minor updates I made to the Barsin's EMA Cross and the RSI5. So what I did is I added the ability to provide TradingView alerts. Before I go to explaining that on how to do that, I just wanted to summarize what the Barsin's EMA Cross does. So what it does is it will shade the area between price and the EMA, in this case the 200 EMA, a different color when a certain number of bars, okay, so when the bar count exceeds a threshold set by the trader. Okay, and the bar count is measured from the time price, or in this case the low, touched the EMA 200. Okay, so in this case, if we go under the inputs, we have the ability to change the target EMA. I call it target EMA. Okay, this is the 200 EMA is my target EMA. When I counter trend, I look for extension, and I like to see a lot of extension, and then I'll take a small trade and try and target the EMA. Sometimes I'll get out before it hits it, but definitely when the EMA is hit, that setup is pretty much over. Okay, so it's a moving target. It's dynamic. It moves with price, and I like to use it a lot. So these are the three thresholds, okay, 100, 300, and 400. So once we hit 100, the EMA shading turns green. At 300, it will turn yellow, and then at 400, it will turn red. Okay, and in style, this is actually important and useful, and I think most of you know how to do this, but I'm going to go over this anyway. You can set the shading of that EMA. So I usually like to bring it towards the lighter side, and for the color 3, which represents the instances where there is no shading, well, there really is a shading, it's just shaded white. Just make sure that it's set to transparent all the way, because if it's not, what it will do is it will actually cover any other indicators you have in that area. Okay, so for example, I have this 8-day EMA with a signal. So I have an 8-day exponential EMA, and then I have a 2 EMA of that 8-day, and I like to use that as a way. It's kind of like a trend line. Okay, I like to use it as a dynamic trend line, really, to get into my trades. But I want to make sure that that shading is set to transparent so I can see the indicator at all times. Okay, because if you don't, it just kind of looks weird. Okay, so so you can kind of see there's two sets of colors. The first one is for uptrends, and then the second one is for downtrends when price is below the 200 EMA. Okay, so now let's go on the updates. This new version is currently not available under the TradingView package, but I'm going to try my best to make it available on the next release date, which I believe is in April. And it's pretty much ready to go. Hopefully the TradingView guys can get this integrated. If not, we're going to have to wait for the next release. Regardless, eventually you're going to get this. Anybody who's subscribed under the RobBooker package will eventually get this update. So this is cool because you can now go under alerts, and in condition you can scroll down and you can select Barsin's EMA Cross, and you have the ability to set 4 different type of alerts. The first one is a very useful one, I think. It will alert you when the EMA is touched. Okay, so if you're in a counter trend trade and you may have a TP or a target, set, but you want to make sure you also, I want to know when that EMA is touched, because once that EMA is touched, I'm pretty much out of the trade regardless, win or loss. Okay. Sometimes I will keep that trade if I see a higher time frame EMA setting up, but most of the time I just close out the trade. And then you can set alerts on the bar count. So you can have individual alerts on the first threshold exceedance, second and third threshold exceedance, which I think is pretty useful as well. So that's it for the bar since EMA cross. And now we go to the Palladino RSI5. The only change here is the ability to set alerts. So again, you can go under alerts, you can hit the RSI5, and you have three options. You can be alerted on when you have triple RSI overbought or oversold conditions. You can be alerted on when there are overbought, oversold, when there is an overbought, oversold conditions across 5 time frames. And then the second option here is either or. So I think this is useful because this indicator doesn't happen that often, but I really want to know when it's there. Okay. And the other thing that I did is I changed the defaults. So if you go to input, the defaults are 1, 5, 15, 60, and 240 now. I used to set them to 5, 15, 60, 240, 1440, I believe, which is the daily. But this is I like to use this indicator as an intraday type setup. So combined with Knoxville divergence or this EMA spread indicator. But I think that's it. So really the integration of alerts is really the update I wanted to provide to everybody, and that is it for today.